Hello beautiful fish lovers and welcome to another episode of Puff Daddy Reef. You might have noticed that it is nighttime on the reef. Yes, it is evening and I'm doing this for a very specific purpose. I was on Instagram the other day and I saw a prize drawing contest for Algaebarn. All I had to do was, I don't know, tag some people, you know, those things that no one ever wins, right? Well, turns out I won. So I won a package of copapods and phytoplankton from Algaebarn. It's actually a $60 value. So I'm going to open it up now and kind of show you what's inside. The reason why it's at night is because the best time to introduce vulnerable critters into an aquarium, and in fact one of the best times to introduce new fish, is at night when the fish are winding down, they've already been fed, and there'll just be less aggression. Hopefully there'll be less hunting for these vulnerable copepods as they find their way to settle in. So let's open this box and see what it looks like. So here's the box that came from Algaebarn, and I'm just going to open it up. This is so cool. You know, basically they gave me through the whole experience except didn't charge me anything. So I got a notification that it was going to ship. It shipped to me. It arrived in, I think it was maybe 2 days. It definitely wasn't overnight shipping, but you don't need overnight shipping for these sorts of copepods. And this is interesting because one of the most common types of copepod brands from Algae that you've seen me review before, I'll have that link below, they only sell their copepods with one type of pod. And this one actually comes with 3 types of copepods in the same culture. So that's very interesting. And enough talking about that. I'll describe the copepods later. Let's do the unboxing. All right, let's open this thing up. So basically, I just opened the box, and it looks like, I don't know what this, I have a Swedish fish? Thanks, candy. Okay, so we can't do the review without actually sampling the Swedish fish. Now, this is not a fish to introduce to the aquarium. I don't think they're reef safe. You never really know with these things, but they are very tasty. Very good. All right, so I got a sticker. That's pretty good. Was not expecting a sticker. They have this instruction note here that says, please read, 100% alive on arrival guaranteed, dead on arrival, will reship anyway, new items free of charge. It says open here. So I guess this is where we take our scissors and we cut. And I'm choking on this Swedish fish. Oh, it's pretty good. So, sorry, you didn't know I'd be eating aquarium critters on this channel. So this bag actually goes, and this is, wow, it's like a pillow. I don't know what it's packed in. I've never seen insulation like this, but, huh. It's like packed in a pillow. Okay, so inside this little pillow is what we're looking for. We basically have 2 things. The first is the Ocean Magic, and this is cool. It's got a really neat container so you can measure out the amount of phytoplankton that you're going to dose. It says live phytoplankton. I don't have a microscope, so I'm not going to be able to show you guys you know, if it looks live, but it is green, so that's always a good sign. There's directions for dosing. It looks like you do it 5 milliliters per 20 gallons every day for the first 2 weeks to allow your tank to become accustomed to it. After 2 weeks, you can increase the dosage as needed. I don't know how you would know if you need more or not, but it's probably just for feel. I might actually put some of this in my other tank with my clam. You'd love it. So great. And it also feeds copepod populations, so it's probably a good idea to get this at the same time. Now the phytoplankton has 4 types of phytoplankton. It has, and they're listed here, and there's little images on each one. I'll bring it up real close and see if it focuses. So basically there's nano, iso, tetra, and thol. So now let's check out the copepods. That's always the coolest thing, because whenever I get copepods, I want to see them bouncing, I want to see them moving, and I want to know they're alive. And the crazy thing about copepods is sometimes they're so small, you can barely see them. That's why I really like getting amphibopods, because they're a lot easier to see in the tank. They're more nutritious snack, I think, but copepods are really that base layer of the ecosystem. Of course, not the base layer, you got the bacteria first. What else is in here? Looks like there's a, I don't know, maybe it was a hot or cold packet sometime. Yep, there's a heat or ice pack. Do not add that to the tank. Don't add your heat or ice pack to the tank. So here it is. They claim there's 5,280 in this container. Exactly. Actually, it says plus, so maybe more. There are 3 types in here. So, oh man, I'm going to have to try to say these rightly, but Tigriopus, Tisbe, and Acropolis, or no, Apocyclops, sorry. Apocyclops. Correct me in the comments if I'm pronouncing any of these things wrong. So let's check out some cool pictures of these from their website. Okay, so we got Tigriopus right here, and these ones are red. They kind of bounce around. They're pretty jerky, and they eat nuisance algae in the ecosystem. So that's pretty cool. Tisbe bimenesis, Tisbe. Anyway, Tisbe are the smallest of the copepods in here. They'll probably be pretty hard to see. Apocyclops. So Apocyclops. These are Apocyclops peninsula. Anyway, these guys, they're kind of the medium-sized one. They're pretty good for the reef aquarium. So let's take a look inside and see what we can see. Now this is really, really hard for anyone to see, but one thing that's a really good sign when you get copepods is that there's not a bunch of stuff stuck on the bottom. That's can be a sign that something has died and settled out. And no, I can see them. They're herky-jerking around, all around there. So there are quite a few. I'm not going to count them. I'm not sure if there's 5,280, but I'm sure that they figured that out somehow. The salinity of this bag is 1.025. That's great that they have that on the bag itself. What I like to do is I try to do a kind of a sub-acclimation of these things. If the salinity is way different from my tank, I'll do a drip acclimation. But this is actually the same salinity as my tank, so I will just put a little bit of water in to acclimate them. All right, so now all the lights are off. It's been in the tank for 10 minutes as instructed. The other thing they note on their instruction is you need 8 ounces of pods per 15 gallons of tank, or about 1 container of these for 30 gallons. Now, given that this tank is approximately 150 gallons of water volume, they're saying I need 5 packages of these in order to fully stock my tank. At 50 bucks, that's $250 of pods. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to use these, and hopefully they'll supplement what already should be in there. So the next thing that they say is just put them into the refugium and or the display tank. I'll do both. Make sure that the pumps are off and that the filter socks are pulled forward. Wait 20 minutes before turning on any equipment, and then 24 hours after you can turn on your other things like your filter socks. Now they want me to turn off all of my pumps, just absolutely everything. So I'm going to follow their instructions. I'll turn off the pumps. I'll turn off the return. Okay, so now all the pumps are out. You can hear my return pump siphoning a little bit. The water's flushing down below. If I had a more advanced pump, I could set it so there's just a little bit of head pressure so that doesn't happen. So don't mind the sound. I've got these guys all mixed up. Now what they say is move it directly into the tank. So no acclimation requested. I'll do some that way, and then I'll acclimate a little just in case. But they just say dump it in. Now I gotta find a place where these fish aren't looking. So look over here, guys. Dinner over here, dinner over here. And now I'm gonna do a little bit that are acclimated, just because I like to be easy on the little guys. But they should be pretty durable. So they're in here, and I'm just gonna take little scoops of water over time just to build up some more water in here from the tank, make it a little easier on them over the course of 20 minutes. then we'll get them in the tank. So real quick, let's dose the Phyto. It says add 5 milliliters for every 20 gallons. I have 150 gallons. So that's about 37 milliliters. It says to do this every day for 2 weeks. I'm just gonna go with 30 milliliters just to kind of help out. Get some good macroalgae in this tank. So that's all for this video. We unboxed our package from Algaebarn. Overall, let's talk about the phytoplankton. I would rate this very highly as a tool to use. It's much easier to use the phytoplankton. Basically in this type of bottle, it's real simple to dose and to measure, so I like that a lot. I also like the fact that it has 4 types of phytoplankton in it. So that gives you some diversity, and I'm all about diversity in the reef ecosystem, really building up this ecosystem as much as we can so we can support it in our homes. And as far as the pods go, I have a hard time believing there's 5,280 pods, but once again, I probably need to get a microscope and do a standard count. But for $50, I think this is reasonable. It's on par with the price for pods from Algae, which generally are around, let's say, they're usually less amounts of pods, but they can go between $9 to $20 for those little bottles, and it's just one species. So if you actually want 3 different species of pods, you're gonna spend, maybe $60 anyway on just the pods. So I think it's a reasonable deal. I'm not sure if I would have gone and bought this myself because I already had put some pods in there, but I haven't actually seen them, so I think it's really good to be coming back and looking again at this time to really see if they've taken up residence. So also, I have to admit I'm slightly biased in this review because I did get it for free, and no matter what, if you get something for free, you can't have an unbiased review. You just can't. If you pay a whole bunch of money for something, your expectations or standards are going to be so much higher. In my case, I had really no expectations. This came out of the blue, came in the mail, but overall I'm very pleased. And if you see the shots of the pods, they were all very alive, very happy, very healthy. So as far as vitality, I would rank this like 9 out of 10. I don't know what 10 out of 10 would look like, but it would just be like pods, spewing out of the bag, like ripping their way out to just like jump in the tank and feed your fish. But 9 out of 10 for vitality. As far as packaging goes, as far as this is 10 out of 10. That's a really nice way to package phytoplankton. As far as the pods go, I'd give that like 8 out of 10. It's pretty good as far as price and value, 7 out of 10. These are just numbers because we like to rank things. So, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Is Algaebarn stepping up the game in copepod aquaculture foods, or do you think there's something they can improve on? Let me know, let them know. Check out their Instagram or whatever they're trying to promote. And thank you very much for watching this episode of Puff Daddy Reef. Please like and subscribe because, as I promised, when I get to 3,000 subscribers, I will be giving away some more of my old equipment. Yes, it's old equipment, but it's functional. So please subscribe and hit that bell because you need that to really subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Check out our t-shirts online, and I'll catch you later on Puff Daddy Reef.